Okay. Again, welcome everyone. Thank you. Thank you very much for participating. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Welcome everyone. And I thought to do, I'm going to, there's in Palm Beach Dharma Center, Sangha member has some questions. So I like trying to answer those.
And online, they can send you.
Yeah, the questions, those answers, trying to answer those. And then also I like to talk something. And I thought during I'm staying in Florida, I like to discuss, go over this, that many of you have this prayers, and which is according this booklet, page 70, and I think it's page 70. I just will read this. Bless my mind to turn toward the Dharma. Bless my Dharma practice to follow the path. And bless my path to be free from delusion. Bless me that all the delusion be transformed into wisdoms. By realizing true nature, may I mature my own mind. Through the compassion and the love, may I mature the minds of others. May I have meaningful contact with whomever I meet. May the lamas and the triple gem bless me so that may be fulfilled. This may be fulfilled or fulfilled. So I thought to go over this slowly by slowly, not just kind of like rush. And of course, you all know this translated already in English. But what really means those? Maybe we don't know exactly. Trying to kind of a little bit meaning and the depth of this, because this is, we are practitioners. Everyone is practicing, following the Buddha teaching. So this is really the important, so special, not just important, to activate it and become quite a simple, decently good, individually practitioner, make meaning for our this life in this earth where we stay here, and during that time also support and help into the others. Let it be more kind of impression, giving some impression. So that's really so important. So I go over this slowly by slowly like that. First, I would like to talk with the question and answers. There is a few questions, then I go over that question answer, and after that I will go start this from these prayers. Okay, thank you. And now you have some of those questions, and the first one, yeah, is I got some from Liliana too. So I don't know is the same questions or not.
One moment.
I mean,
One
this
moment.
is, I believe, is not Liliana's question, but it's a question from the Sangha member.
How does the source give rise to the sentient mind? Why and how the sentient mind forgets the soul?
Okay, so that's it. This is a very famous Dzogchen prayer. I think you're reading that prayer. Prayer, believe this is somewhere here. Here, and where is this? What's all?
The question was why and how the sentient mind forgets the soul.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, this one. This one. So this is a very famous. I will read a few lines here. Here, that's what I think that you maybe Sangha members are reading this. This here said all appearance phenomena, phenomena and possibility of samsara nirvana has one source, but there is two paths and two results. So that's it. And it's a miracle of knowing and unknowing. Knowing and unknowing. So those are the maybe came from that that prayer, the prayer. But this is very famous Dzogchen prayers. Dzogchen prayer, and is also not just a prayer. This is a really famous teaching that many of you all know that in the Buddhism, the where all this samsara is come from, where nirvana is come from. We all Buddhist practitioners talks about the nirvanas, about the samsaras. And the samsara has a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties, and going ups and downs and all that. And the nirvana is very peaceful, calm, free from all the challenges, the difficulties, the troubles. So this is the two big different things. So where that come from? According to Buddhism, it's come from mind. Mind created that. That is very famous. Because when we look into for example, when we talk happiness, when we're talking happiness, really who created happiness? Where is happiness coming? It's not from outside, happiness coming. Maybe they feel some conditions, support us, but reality is the mind. It's coming from mind. That in the Buddhism said, how you know that? For example, if you have all the luxuries, everything can get in this world. You have everything. If you have that everything, that individual is happy. They're really happy. Very doubt. They need to go to vacation. I think so. But when they go vacation, still they're happy completely now. Oh wow, this is really no. I don't think so. I mean, this is true. So this external material, everything what we have, the beautiful poems, beautiful sound, beautiful smell, beautiful taste, beautiful touch, beautiful feelings. Oh, so beautiful. Wow, dear, and darling, and lovely, and gorgeous. Oh, wow, awesome. You're so this. But how long that last? Really, it's true, I mean. This is not speaking kind of some stories of behind the scene. How that long last? So this external material, everything is not making completely that what we expected. Again, people who are so loosely, appears so destitute. Everything is so bad. Place is bad, food is bad, smell and rusties and sound, and it looks like so bad. So many people say those people are happy. They're smiling, they're calm, peaceful, hugging, playing. Where they come from? And then particularly those great practitioners, yogis, the yoginis. In the Buddhism, we call it practitioners. In the Vedanta teaching, or the yogi and the yoginis. They're sitting on the mountains, cold. There is no heating systems. There is no running waters in the caves. There is no kind of instantly you push the button and fire comes. None of those really existed. It everything with effort, but still they're so happy, so calm. It's true. Singing the song of the joy and the appreciation, thankful. Truly. So where that come from? It's not from outside. It's from the mind. We go with that example, if it goes further and further, then samsara is All is created by the mind. And nirvana is created by the mind. What part of mind? So that means one source talking. One source is the one mind is the source, one source that created samsara, that created nirvana. Nirvana. And how that happened? That here in the teaching said, in this famous prayer, the miracle of the knowing, unknowing. Whether we use miracle or not miracle, or it is caused by the knowing, not knowing. What not knowing? What knowing? The mind. We don't know the mind, nature of the mind. Then created that. What is that is known as? In the Buddhism, ignorance. Ignorance is created samsara, and the wisdom, opposite of the ignorance, awareness, wisdom, merged nirvana. Whose mind? Is the kind of big mind somewhere else? No, in the Buddhism. Each of our mind, your mind created your samsara and your nirvana. My mind created my samsara, my nirvana path. We all creating our own environment, all our ideas, our perceptions, our conceptions, our beliefs, our ideas, thought is not coming from outside. According to Buddhism, again, of course, it's all created by the mind. Not just created by mind, it's because it's not something, it's created because it's existing. It's not existing. Reality is not existing, but we start grasping, clinging, and holding onto that. Then it becomes stronger, 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 and then when it started, according to Buddhism, from the beginningless times, there is no even times started. It becomes so strong and so regiment. And those are known as habitual patterns. Habituals. There are three habituals created. The object habituals, subject habituals, the individual physical habituals. Created. Then that's continued. And that created by that, and then it also by the mind created all this because of the knowing and the unknowing created then the chain of the karma. Karma is a Sanskrit word, of course, samsara, nirvana, all those Sanskrit words, but karma means the action. Action is the activity. Who they created that? It's by mind. And what kind of karma is there? Activities. There is good karma, bad karma, neutral karma, or positive karma, negative karma, then neutral karmas. Positive karma, who created? Again by mind. What is the positive? Of course, many of us know positive means compassion, love, kindness, joy, appreciation, respect, understanding, openness, help, because of that, helping and supporting to the others with the joy and appreciation and love and kindness and respect and politeness. Politeness. That is all known as good positive mind creating the positive karma. Karma means this is not just you did something, it's gone. that impression, that print remain in the mind. Mind is like treasures. It registers everything. That mind, as many of you all know in Buddhism, alaya, self-consciousness, soul house, deeper levels of the consciousness, hold all that. Then negative karma, negative thought also started from the mind. What is negatives? The ignorance, attachment, anger, jealous, arrogance, hatred thought, violence, self-centered minds, self-greed, and I don't care, careless thought. And all those are known as negative mind. They come from mind. And we need to come to the action by physically, verbally, and then mind continues support. Then it disturbs, it hurts others. It hurts one's own self too. Not just clean when you're doing something bad things. You're completely kind of happy and all that. But you are sad. You are suffering. And others are suffering. That suffering and the challenge, difficulties are not just one short time. There's chain reactions. And all that's called bad karma, bad actions. So all that come from the mind. Therefore, one source, two different results. And then there's mentioned soul. In Buddhism, they don't use the terminology soul. Mind. Have you used the mind? That is like substitute of the soul. But in the soul, in Buddhism, mind is not solid. Mind is not permanent. You look yourself. Is the mind solid? Mind is permanent. His mind is permanent. According to the kind of reason, according to the logical level, if something is permanent, that means it cannot change. It cannot change. If it's changed, it's not permanent. Mind is not solid. If solid mind, if we all carry it, we will be big trouble, I think. Where we put that much solid one? It's not finding any places. Even the doctors, surgeries, the brain surgeries, the heart surgeries, don't find. But if we believe solid, where that solid is? It's not solid in Buddhism. It's just, mind is what? It's mind. Mind is like sky. I've used the example. Of course, that's in Buddhism. It said, you can, in Buddhism, we can investigate, analyze. Buddha said that, and then if you investigate, you're a bad person. No, you're a good person. If you analyze, you think and reflect, if it's true, then you follow. So you can analyze. So that is my answer about the one source. And then, of course, there's a prayer, there's a booklet already translated and a commentary, all that. You can go over that if you like to go detail. And this is very famous Dzogchen teachings. It's all connected with meditation and practice and pointing to kind of release and free from all the negative emotions. And all those negative, all emotions, again talking ignorance, attachment, anger, jealous, arrogance, doubt and hesitations. Those are we talking like negativities. So those are then transformed into in the origin and nature status. That is a very famous book, and so that is about the answer for that. And then the second one is is heaven. Something that Liliana said, heaven in Buddhism, heaven is samsara. There is no heaven. If we're talking about there's three realms. Again, I think many of you know, maybe rare. Formless realm, desire, form realm, and formless realms. Those are REALM realms. So formless realm, form realm, and desire realms. Those are called three realms. And those are also known as the samsara. As we're talking samsara. Samsara, if we divide the samsara, those are the three realms. And this, so there is, and then if you go divided and moreover, desire realm has two realms. Desire, DESIRE, I believe, desire realm. And what means desire realm? Desire realm, all are desired and attached to be contract with two individuals, such as the male and the females. Those are kind of, that desire is existed to desire realm. According to Buddhism, that desire is the realm that hell realm being has that, hungry ghost beings have that, and then animal realm has, and we human have that. In the God realm, also there is a desire realm within the God realm. Those are those called the 6 God realms. So that included Tushita heaven, and all that. Those are all desire realms. So the Tushita and as well as all the 6, those are also another terminal, upper realm and the heavens. They called heavens. And then form realm, that is also heavens. Formless realm also considered as heavens. But they are not, according to Buddhism I'm talking, that's all within samsaras. But then there is heaven controlled the pure land. Those are the pure land are the pure land which is appeared by the wisdom and the compassion of the different individual Buddha. Those are known as pure land of the east, pure land of the south, pure land of the west, pure land of the north, pure land of the central. Those are not considered as samsara because those pure lands are reflected, appeared by the power of the wisdom and the compassion of those enlightened beings, Buddhas. And so therefore is not samsara. And this samsara, what we have here, samsara, is reflect the power of the karma. Power of the karma and emotions, therefore it's called samsara. Samsara. So that is my explanations of the heavens. Heaven. Tushita heaven is in desire. According to Tushita is also okay. Then yes, now.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, Khenpo. I have a question. On the second part of the Nundro, when we do the prayer from now until samsara becomes empty, I shall accomplish the benefits and happiness of all sentient parent beings. I'm just curious why it specifically references the sentient parent beings. Like what does that mean?
Sentient parent means okay. That in this is the questions of the prayer of the bodhisattva in the 100 booklets. And here's why it's just sentient parent beings. Why is it called parent beings? So that is in a Buddhism, again, we in the samsara, when we take the birth in the samsara, there is 4 different ways to take the birth in the samsara. Those are known as the instant birth, and then moisture birth, then warm birth, and then egg birth. Among those 3 or 4, at least 2 of those depended with parents. That 2 are egg birth and warm birth. So those are, and instant and moistures are not necessarily dependent with as the parents. So those are generally idea of that. And then how many times we individually talk the birth in this world, on this samsara, according to Buddhism, again, so many times we talk the birth. Really. This birth, what now we are, this our life, is not the first time we came into samsara, nor it will not be last. Last is just one of the chain of lives we go through. So, when we take the birth of the warm birth, the egg birth, we always had the parents. That is majority. That always you have the parents. And then, how many times do you take the birth? In the it says that there's no even numbers. How many times we took the birth? Great Master Nagarjuna, he said, if you like to put the numbers of the parents, make that as kind of like sculpture, the 1 parent, 2 parents, 3 parents, 4 parents, 6 parents, 100 parents, 1,000 and 100,000 parents, if you like, and make whole this earth, whole this world earth, make that as a clay, and make the pill as the size of the juniper seed. Juniper seed, if you make the pill, if you have the capability, you have the time, if you make that, art is not enough. Still, there's more parents. So that, yeah, I mean, all earth is completely, the art part of the earth is you made like crush that and made like clay, like cement blocks like that. If you make to the size of the juniper seed side and put the number of the my parent 1, 2, 3, that this art is not enough. Really is not enough because we talk so many. But then why we say the parent beings? Because most of the time in the Buddhism, parents are so kind and so special for us. We are here now discussing all that because the parent. Without the parent, we won't be. Really, first we won't be that. In the Buddha teaching, said the gracious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said, there's four majority kindness that parents did to us. First, they give us this body. Second, they give us a life. Third, they give us, provided all necessities. Fourth, they showed us the world. They are the first teacher. So first, they give this body. That maybe we know easily. But second, they give us life. What that means? Because when we born, what capability we have? For example, everyone. We don't have any capability except crying. We are not, one way say that all is not individually. Because it's not active at all. Close eye, crying. But then they're breathing, so it's alive. But that moment, A parent don't have the love and the kindness and compassion. If dropped somewhere, we're gone. But they really held, for example, the mother kept that in the Bali or what that place for 9 months. And happy, joy. He didn't pay care kind of, oh, it's so bad, so heavy, this and that, all the things. So many troubles went through. And the father supporting. Continually, they both are so happy. We have now a child. They're kind of looking forward. All the troublemakers to come. Then when they're born, they're so happy. Both are celebrating, really, putting music. I mean, this country, all those really beautiful things they put in, fragrance, beautiful, just really that. They're so happy and held by two hands with love and compassion, graciously, affectionately, and held to their chest or their chin and kissing. Instead, dropping somewhere. And then provided all the necessities. All the children, they like that. Even they go before, come out in this country. Go out. That's why the big department store called Kids Are Us or Toys Are Us. I mean, that's because of parents. The love for the children. And buy all those, they call the action figures, and Ninja Turtles, and this and that. Those rich people has a whole big room, completely big room filled with the toys. It's true, really true. And then they're everything to pride. And then when they grown up, or gradually, then they're so happy and excited when they started first time walking. First time walking, all kind of started going to the bathroom first time. They're so happy and so excited, and they really did. That went through all that. And then plus more, continually. So therefore, in the Buddhism, called parents so kind. And the Buddha said, one father put in one side, one shoulder, and the mother put on this another side of the shoulder. If you suffer humbly the whole world, still that is not enough to gratitude to the parent. Those are really sick. So for Buddhism, and that is so special. And then since we take the birth so many times, our parent is not kind of like a reserved parent, all the time granted to one individual, all the time they change according to karma. So for that reason, now those parents have been so kind and so special to us, they all come having struggled with that. For that reason, I'm going to do a lot of practice, a lot of good things, and may benefit for all living beings. Really waking that strongly in the heart, the mind is also known as bodhisattva practices. So that is my.
I think the batteries have died on that microphone.
Oh, really?
So I think we need to change the batteries.
Okay. But that goes here too. Okay, so then that's it now. Now I just told a little bit about this is what I thought.
Can we use the hand mic? No, because the batteries on that one are really far.
Thank you, everyone, again. Thank you. Now, any more questions?
You want a second?
Could you stand up?
1 moment, so they can hear online.
So, okay. Hi. So I was wondering about the chapter, page 71 in the Green Book. Bless my Dharma practice and to follow the path. Bless my path to be free of delusion. The delusion part, is that, I guess my question is that's referring to like control, right? Like control being an illusion.
Where is that?
71 in the Green Book? Yes.
That's what I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to talk about that a little bit slowly, not just all in one day. One day, slowly, and during my stay in the winter time in Florida, if I have time, or when we discuss, of course, with the board members and all that. So then I'm going to talk with meaning of this, gradually, slowly by slowly. Okay, but today I will talk too. Start with this, and then I go over slowly. Yes?
Rinpoche, online, a few questions have come in. One is, in daily life, when interacting with difficult circumstances and people, how can we easily come back to our practice?
Okay, and that in the daily life, every difficult things that happen, I think most of the time is really as we can, best be patient. Patient and with bodhisattva. Bodhisattva and the life in the challenge, difficulty definitely comes in the different times. But when we have more courage and strong and patience, and this is a passion practice, the paramatas. Also in the teaching say that when the difficulty challenge comes, many times is like kind of like that there is conditions are playing externally, conditions are playing. So externally those happened when externally reflecting that has to do some maybe individually all that. But instead, according to bodhisattva, instead get upset and become emotion, you feel more compassion. You feel more compassion, more nice, really pray. And when individually those people who are acting slightly different, all the happening, they're not doing that because of wisdom. They're not doing that with knowingly, kind of like thoughtful or wisdom. But that is really happening due to the self-important or kind of due to the some unknowing situation, and then idea of the, as I said, self-important and the ignorance. So therefore, instead of getting upset to that individuals or those people and get more compassion, may I able to help and support to all the emotions and negativities of the every living being, which is the cause of all the troubles. That is in the Buddha's teaching, generally, post-teaching, gracious teaching, when post-teaching he gives Four Noble Truth teaching. Post is what? Suffering truth and cause of suffering truth. Cause of suffering truth is negative emotions, negatives. That is cause. So these individuals who are acting in a kind of like slightly different ways or whatever the annoyance is not because they know, because they're doing by wisdom. They're powered by the dullness, ignorance, and therefore, really, that means also they, according to Buddhism, they're creating more heavy karmas. Instead, get upset and do pray and thinking this is how the negative emotions are like creating an uncomfortable situation everywhere in this world. Therefore, I need to increase my bodhisattva, my practices, patience, and the patience means preserving one's own bodhisattva, not patient because they're doing something patient, but to preserve our bodhisattva. Patience is preserving the bodhisattva, courage and a commitment. And we are able to preserve our bodhisattva without carried and crushed by the negative emotion, our bodhisattva, then that is known as bodhisattvas, courageous ones for the enlightenment. And Buddhism also warriors. Warrior is not the defeating someone by with weapon in the samsara we do. Warrior means one who defeated cause of that disturbance, that cause of that all troubles. You defeated that. If we are able to do that, then we are quite strongly standing firmly as a courageous one for the enlightenment of bodhisattvas. Those are individuals known as the greatest teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said, noble son, noble daughter. Noble son and noble daughter is not just a name like that. One who had that courage, one who had the commitment, one who had that patience to hold up the bodhisattva and show it is strength. Help it. That is then noble son, noble daughters. Okay. Into next one. Okay, then I will stop here. I think I'd like to talk a little bit about this. Okay, now anyone?
There's one more? There's more, but it's up to you.
Then I do that. Yeah, one more then. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Could you give specific advice about how to set up a one-day meditation retreat at home?
Okay. That's wonderful if you can do one-day meditation. I think if we do that in the 4 period or 4 sessions, early morning sessions, late morning sessions, and afternoon sessions, and then evening sessions. I think that's really, I will say, and kind of make that sessions. Each sessions you can make maybe 2 hours, every you can. Since it's one day, maybe then you can do it. Morning 4 hours at least, and afternoon 4 hours. Or morning maybe 4 hours, and evening 5 hours. And morning, I say, for example, get up around, if you can, around 5 o'clock or 4:30, 5 o'clock, and start practicing your practices until 7 or 7:30 or 8. Then have the breakfast break for 1 hour or 1.5 hours. Around 9:30 until 12 or until 11:30. It depends. Not too tired, but since it's one day, maybe you can do, but not too forceful. And then, so that is the morning session or 2 period sessions. In the afternoon session, I will say maybe around 2 o'clock. Have nice break and kind of nice, and read some nice book that support your meditation practices. And until maybe 2 or 2:30, have rest, and that or 3. Then start from 2:30 or 3 until 5. And then for 1 hour, maybe break. Have early dinner, whatever. That is supper. Then around 7, practice until 9. So that's just roughly my thought. But each time when you start to practice it, it's so important to raise up your joy and appreciation. Bodhisattva, 4 point of the train of the mind. Those are really so special, so important to make this meaningful of your practices, our life. So then it really makes life rich. It makes practice rich. And then in the end, in the evening time, dedicated that merit with aspirations. Aspirations, lot of dedication, lot of aspirations. Really good heart. That means good heart wishes come from the bodhisattva. And I think that's wonderful. Feel happy in the joy. Make that offering to all the Buddha, Dharma, enlightened beings. And beings, all the beings of 6 realms, the parent, the sentient beings. And really feel happy, then excellent. Okay?
What would be the content of those sessions?
I mean, whatever they practice, that is the individually, that is, maybe you're going to practice it or whatever. But when you practice it, generally, again, we think meditation is kind of sitting like this. Like seriously sitting. We think this is meditation. And then we started chanting, oh, this is not chanting, not meditation. But chanting is really meditation. It's a very powerful meditation. It's a very technique. Skillful means. What is nature actually? What is nature? What are the natures? As we say roughly. Form, sound, and space. Those are 3, right? There's nothing else, according to Buddhism. Form, sound, and space. When we meditate, that's what we do normally. That's the more focused on the mind. We meditate, mind, more space, more mind. We completely neglected the form and sound. But chanting practice, chanting meditation is whole 3 combined together. Form, sound, space, and mind. What do we practice meditating? Form is enlightened. Sound is enlightened. Mind is enlightened. All 3 things lifted up together as pure mandala divines. Mind is divine, sound is divine, form is divine. To bring those realizations, to make that clear of that, then we chant. Chanting is not just chanting and chanting, saying something, and our thoughts are wandering in some different direction. Chanting is a concentration of that word, what thing is what we should meditate. It's big meditation, beautiful, powerful meditation. It's skillful means and wisdom combined together. All accumulation merit, wisdom merit, all together. It's really very powerful, special. That's it. Then what you practice. Okay, then we stop, and then if there's maybe more, some questions that we do continually next time when we meet again, a little bit discussion, all that. And now I will talk very kind of shortly about this. This, as I said, I like to talk this meaning of this. This is the page 70, according to this. So my mind travels between the Dharma. This I read this beginning of this prayer. So now we're talking about our mind is turning toward the Dharma. This is the Dharma practices. Generally in Buddhism, there is 2, academics and as well as practices. Academic means studying and learning. And practice means observing that what you studied to the heart and started practices. So this is the 3 things. But this is the prayer for the observing that to the heart. So we become really good, fulfill our study, our practices. Fulfill that. This is the prayer of that. So I talk little bit like to talk, as he said. The first level, and now this is the special prayers. And now first how to do this. And this is in Buddhism, in the teaching mentioned that you should have 3 wisdoms. 3 wisdoms. And wisdom that is, and what is like actually wisdoms? Wisdom is seeing the nature, seeing the truth exactly as it is. seeing exactly, not overstated, not understated, exactly seeing as it is. That is wisdoms. Then there is also two wisdoms, one way, called according to Buddhism, and good wisdom and wrong wisdoms. Good wisdom is benefiting, helping to one's own self, benefiting to all the beings, other beings. Knowing the skill, how to benefit one's own self, and how to help it to the all other beings. Those are known as good wisdoms. Wrong wisdom is then the hurting someone, taking advantage of someone, and kind of manipulating someone, and to take that kind of like attitude of the self-important, and then trying to take that. Those are called the wrong wisdoms. In the Buddhism, what we're talking wisdom is the beneficial wisdoms. Buddha's teaching wisdom is wisdom that knows exactly as it is, and then also sharing that knowledge to the others and applying that to one's own self. On self. If we have that true wisdoms, the greatest teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said in the famous sutta, Panjaparamada Sutras, wisdom that will bring the understanding clearly of the nature of all phenomena, through that individually will go beyond all samsaras, beyond the samsara. That is the wisdom, then knows exactly as it is. There are things. How to do that, have that wisdoms. That great master, again known as Vasubandhu, is a very famous master who came of India. He came in the maybe 6th, 7th century. It depends with the different scholars. But very early, really. One of the mostly great scholars and intellectuals and great masters of meditation. Siddhas is known as Vasubandhu. He said, abiding perfectly on the morality ground, then learn the three wisdoms. So in order to have the wisdom, good wisdom, in the Buddhism, the morality or the ethic is so important. Standing firmly on the ground of the ethic, good ground of the ethics, or I translated moralities. And what is that? That is good conduct of the physical, good conduct of the verbal, good attitude of the mind. Kindness, compassion, love, and mindfulness, alertness, consciousness. All those we heard so many times, but not just hearing, kind of applying that to every time as we can, then we will be great. Great Master Khenpo Rinpoche said, if you have mindfulness, alertness, consciousness, then that individually, the Buddha is with you. Consciousness, mindfulness, alertness is our greatest teacher. So mindful, so cautious, so alert, so gentle. Because when you have that, it makes gentle, it makes peaceful, it makes it more calm, it makes fullness, rich. Then our conduct will be gentle. Physical conduct will become gentle, peaceful, respectful, verbal, more polite, more calm, more soothing, more respectful, more appreciative attitude of tone, and mind is so joy, happy. content, really, then Buddha is right with you. All the masters, lineage masters, with you. With that good, then of course there's so many, those of the guidelines and morality teachings, those of Vinaya teachings and Upasaka teachings, male and female, so forth, all those two. I mean that. But I'm just talking basic situation. When you have that, then learn the wisdom of the starting. Starting is important. But that's why gracious teacher Buddha said, when wisdom knows clearly of all the phenomena nature, phenomena existence, then you go beyond beyond the samsara. So wisdom is so learned. But first is wisdom known as wisdom of the starting wisdoms. Then second wisdom is contemplating wisdoms. Third is wisdom of the meditations. The fourth is starting. That is what we're doing now today. We're talking about all different things. That is starting. That is we apply our wisdom, intelligence with that. Not just going this, saying something and going through the other side of the ears. Not from passing through that. I always going to hear. So this is passing through that. Then it just goes, it's not really observing that too much. Is also sometimes in teaching said, it's like pouring the nectar in the vessel or bowl that has a hole. Then even you pour so many nice things, it's so delicious soup, nectars, and what's called this power drinks. All those things, if you think I'm going to drink that, it's all gone. So I have to look now. What happened? That's it. But that observing to the here, that is really that. Because you all that started, you learned. I mean, you're you're educated persons, observing that, and then analyze. Let me applying that. That is applying that means you're practicing, you contemplate on that. So that wisdom, that wisdom, the starting wisdom, contemplative wisdoms, and then what's called, and meditation wisdoms. Those are three wisdoms. But then in the teaching said, when we start to practice that, observing that to the meditation practice, what great Master Nagarjuna said, we need two. We need devotions, we need wisdoms. Wisdom and devotion go side by side. Wisdom, because why you practicing? Because you have devotion. Or I have used the word faith, Faith, faith. Because you're practicing Dharma because you have faith. And because you understand the meaning of those practices and the reason of that practice, because of wisdom. Because of that wisdom. And between two of these, faith and wisdom, which two of that, great Master Nagarjuna said, among these two, which is more important? Wisdom is more important. But even though wisdom is more important, what goes first when we practice? The faith. Without the faith, without the devotions, we won't start. Faith means what? Devotion means what in Buddhism? Feel the preciousness, feel happy, feel joy of a practice, happy of the practices, rich of the practices. If we don't have that, then we're not going to practice. If you don't have joy, we don't have the appreciative, we don't have grateful thought of the practice and Dharma, then it just becomes so casual. In the teaching it says, even if we put such a beautiful green grass, nice grass right in front of our dogi, D-O-G, dogi, he won't pay attention or he won't pay attention. Even though it looks so yummy. But if we put that same thing in front of the cow or the goat, they will be so happy. Start eating. Similarly, when we don't have the joy in appreciation, then really it's just it's not big deal. We said big, not big deal. Who cares? Those are the words we used. What if we avoided that? Then gracious teacher and the lineage masters often mentioned this 4 point of the train of the mind. Precious body, precious life, and then impermanent. Cause and effects are inevitable. Samsara has a lot of challenges. Among that 4, the first is so important. Enjoy the life, precious life, respect and appreciation. Really, feel happy, joy, be grateful. How lucky, how fortunate we are. Feel really that and take advantage of that. And that is how to start up this training the mind toward the Dharma. But then we go more slowly, but I say slowly, and I will stop here today now. And thank you very much for all your participation and coming, and thank you everyone. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you. Now we do one few minutes meditation, and then we dedicate the merit in instructions said here. And those are according to here page 113. Or we have 2 booklets. So should we do the short dedication prayers? And according to this booklet is page 158. But now we do a short. Namo Guru Orjin Sanje Nying Yarapanje Dunyo Sanje Vimai Jivanjo Larin Drzum Gongde Nyurungde Kulo Somje Namdar Dembarai Joy Gare Rave Grue Jangas Deva Bale Jumene Jere Zuwe Tenze Jam Chape Karje Bar Danger Conjo Sapsundri Kundi Ba Wanda Renzi Beme Senauji Tenzi Ishi Dorji Kutsedi Tendu Dongjin Dar Zimbra Yo Sote Benzayan Chosam Zazam Jede Bema Yine Sunde Tuji Tuji Kenji Barde Yira Rebecca Ukutse Dinjen Tarase Yo Sote Esreverenze Bemezala Etonia Dupe Lasan Ordela Jedo Golo Samje Bamjerade Sanje Namjara Iko, by this merit may all obtain omniscience, may defeat enemy wrongdoing, from strong words to birth, origin, the sickness, the death. In the ocean of the samsara, may I free all beings. May the souls benefit and happiness. The Buddha's teachings remain for a long time. May the fulfillment of the lives of noble ones hold us to the teachings remain forever. May all the temples and monasteries, all the readings and settings, may Sangha always be harmony. May their aspirations be attained. Number 5, may all living beings keep in may all beings, all dreams forever. May the wishes of all the bodhisattvas and all the beings live in wish. At this very moment, for the people of the nations of the earth, may not even the name's disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. Rather, may pure content, merit, wealth, and prosperity increase. And may supreme good fortune and well-being always arise. The practice of those without it may be generated, and those who have it may never diminish, but always continue increase. Number 13. May the great increase and spread throughout the three realm world. May the prayers of the three jewels and the mind streams of beings remain inseparable and bring sublime well-being throughout the three times. Deity, mantra, dharmakaya, by the nature of gift, sound, and awareness, the pervasive fire and wisdom display of the Buddhas, and the practitioners of profound and secret great perfection, remain inseparable from the immortals one takes awareness of wisdom. Okay. Thank you everyone. Okay, thank you very much for participating. Thank you, okay, thank you everyone. Thank you participating. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good afternoon, Sunday afternoon. If I don't see before that, really wish you all have the happy Thanksgiving. Very wonderful, beautiful holiday, and really thank you. Wish you all the best. Good health, joy, peace, happy, love, realization, and practice Dharma. And again, bodhisattva. I wish that to myself, and I wish you all too. Bodhisattva. That's really always said in the teaching. Said, thank you. Tashi Deles.